Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of my sports betting YouTube channel. As always, on Mondays, I'm joined by Mr. Doug Upstone of DocSports.com. By the way, my name's Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com, but a lot of you out there know that. But if those who don't, well, I might as well remind you. Doug, how was your weekend, my friend?
Ross, everything on Saturday was very good. Okay, I have no complaints about Saturday, 4-2 in college football, so that was a good thing. We can talk about Sunday when we talk on Thursday. Okay, I'll leave it at that for now. But the day itself was fine. It just some of the football didn't go my way. But those things are going to happen. We're all aware of that. And one thing though, just this is completely unrelated. Okay, how dumb were the Dodgers yesterday? Yeah. I mean, what a over management, over analytics, over everything, So if they end up losing that series, all they got to do is look in the mirror.
Yeah. I was a little bit hesitant with them to pull the trigger with them on this series because, they're coming off that tough series against San Fran, and it's almost like they have mentally that approach that we got by that team and we got by that rival. Now we're home free again, Yeah. And Atlanta says, not so fast, my friend. You still have to get by us. So in any event, again, folks, we are taping on Monday, the 18th of October. So keep that in mind. We're going to give you two college football free picks on Saturday, the 22nd. So in 23rd or 22nd? 23. Okay. And just a friendly reminder, our last 3 weeks of our videos between college football and the NFL, how about 9-3? And that includes 5-1 in college football, 2-0 last week in college football. So we'll see if we can keep that going for you. And what I would ask folks is we're helping you out here. Help us out a little too. If you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. Costs you absolutely nothing. You'll be notified immediately upon us putting out any future sports betting videos on this channel, including with Doug Upstone, Chip Chirimbus, myself, and many other good handicappers across the country to come. So again, subscribe, folks. And at the end of the video, be kind enough to give us a like. That's all we asked. Doug, what did you see in college football last week, or what do you want to discuss with us about college football as it pertains to betting?
Yes, well, one of the things I can tell you one thing. I went out with a good friend of mine, and we went to a sports bar that had basically 8 TVs lined up. So we sat there, ate. I forget all what we ate, and we had a few pops too along the way, but had a good time and had watched some winners come in. So that was nice. But what caught my eye, Ross, is actually as of this morning, there's 5 teams that are still 6-1. And has the best against the spread record going in college football today. And I got the list right here in front of me. Kentucky, UT, San Antonio, Bowling Green, which we've discussed before, even though they're lousy, they keep covering spreads. Syracuse and Michigan State. Okay, so all of them are having very good season. As I mentioned, as you mentioned, I used Syracuse last week here on this video. So that was a pretty easy winner. But the team that has my attention right now is the 7-0 UTSA Roadrunners, Ross, at 6-1. Now this team, they score a good amount of points. They run a wide open offense. They pass the ball extremely well. They're just fun to watch. Okay. Now their season is ahead of them in their division. They're going to play Louisiana Tech. They're going to play UAB, and honestly, the third team escapes me at the moment. But the 3 best teams other than themselves, they're playing coming ahead. I don't know if they're going to go undefeated, but they're going to have a legit shot at 11-1. Okay. And I don't see a reason that they won't be in the Conference USA championship game. This is a good team. Jeff Traylor came in there last year immediately. I mean, there's talent there. I mean, let's face it. If you're in Texas, you got a shot, even if you're getting relegated, down the line talent. there's still talent to be had from in the state of Texas, and he's done a good job getting it. And he's made the offense a little, juiced it up a little bit, improved the defense. I like this team, and I'm going to be looking to continue. I've used them twice to continue to play on them, Ross. Myself, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that Syracuse team that's 6-1 against the spread. And, Doug, I went into my database today. I have that 4D handicapping software that comes in handy at times. And I said, when was the last time a college football team lost 3 games in a row, each by 3 points, or even 3 or less? And lo and behold, it's only happened like 7 times since 1980. But that's what Syracuse has gone through. I mean, they're 3-4, could easily be, with a little bit of luck, 6-1. They lost on the last play of the game at Florida State on a field goal. They lost to Wake Forest in overtime. And then, of course, the 17-14 loss to Clemson. So in any event, it's awful interesting and intriguing to look at. And this week, they're just a 3-point road underdog at Virginia Tech. Now, if this game would have been played 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'm assured that Virginia Tech would have been a double-digit favorite at that time. So something to keep an eye on going forward. Anyway, let's get to our free picks. Doug, you're up.
All right. Well, I was in the ACC last week, and I'm coming right back to them again this week. Georgia Tech and Virginia is the game I'm looking at. And Jeff Collins, the Georgia Tech coach, is now in his 3rd year, and he has finally transitioned away from the old triple option that school ran, or the football program ran for years with the Yellow Jackets. Georgia Tech now runs a more balanced attack these days, and they're not afraid to throw the ball deep. They're 24th in the country in yards per pass attempt at 8.8 per game, or per attempt, excuse me. So they got a nice club. They're they do a decent job. He continues to build the program. Actually, it's going to take some while because, boy, when you just have everything based on the triple option, I mean, you got to weed that all the way out.
It's a tough transition.
Yeah, no question. Now, Virginia was supposed to be taking a step backwards this year, losing a quarterback that they had the previous 3 years as a starter. But in comes Brennan Armstrong, and all he's done is stepped up and taken over a team and that now 2nd in the country in passing yards. So he's done a tremendous job. His actual own personal stats, he's actually number 1 in the country himself in passing yards. The Cavaliers now moved up to 5-2, straight up and against the spread after just pummeling Duke last week. And now they're outscoring the opposition by almost 12 points per game, Ross. With the total having been moved up from the high 50s to the low 60s, I think that benefits Virginia here, because I'm just not sure the Rambling Wreck is going to be able to keep pace in terms of scoring with Virginia. Virginia, who, by the way, was founded by Thomas Jefferson. I'll just throw that out there for any history buffs out there. They're 12-2 straight up and 11-3 against the spread at home against Georgia Tech. And I think they cover the solid 7. And so I'm going to take the Wahoos of Virginia to get the job done this Saturday, Ross.
Yeah, very nice. What surprised me about that Virginia win over Duke last week? Not the fact they won, but they shut them out. I mean, Duke is a team that's been able to move the ball on occasion this year, but I didn't see that shutout coming, that's for sure. And Virginia's defense has been their liability this year because moving the ball and scoring hasn't been an issue at all. You mentioned the kid Armstrong at quarterback, the lefty. He's a good one, and he replaced Bryce Perkins, a guy who started for 3 years, like Doug said, and he's currently on the LA Rams roster. So that was a tough ask for him to follow up with a quarterback like that, and he's been more than able to step up to the plate. I'm going to take a look at the Army and Wake Forest game, a game that we played in West Point. Here's the thing. Wake Forest is number 16 in the country. They're 6-0. And I don't want to take anything away from Wake Forest and 6-0. But I think a lot of that rating has to do with the record. And some of it, if you look at they're 6-0 and the teams that are ahead of them that have losses, the books or the odds makers are trying to tell you here, we don't think this Wake Forest team is a number 16 team in the country. nor do we think they're as good as their record indicates, because they only set them as a 3-point favorite at Army. Now, remind you, Army's a good team. There's no two ways about it, but they're beneficiaries of playing a soft schedule. Okay. But they haven't played a soft schedule of late, because last week they went to Madison, Wisconsin, and they lost 20-14, but they stayed right in the game with a very physical Wisconsin team. Now, you could say what you want about Wisconsin, but one thing is for certain. Their defense is really, really good. Their offense is the problem. Now, Army, Doug, has won 12 straight at home and has also gone 26-2 in their last 28 home games. So they definitely have a strong home field. And this is just a fishy line to me. The number 16 team in the country, coming off a week of rest, and they're playing Army, who's coming off back-to-back losses to Ball State in Wisconsin, and yet they're only a 3-point favorite in this spot. I think Army will be up to the task here. I think they'll frustrate Wake Forest. They'll be able to run the ball, because Wake Forest has given up some yards this year, specifically on the ground, Doug. I think Army, what they'll do here is they'll be able to run the ball for close to 300 yards, control the time of possession. And when that happens with teams like Wake Forest that like to go real fast, that usually frustrates them offensively as well, because they get on the field and they feel like they have to rush to score because to keep up. And I think that they'll be frustrated here. And I think Army comes up big here. I'm going to take the Army Cadets, go out on a limb, Army +3 over Wake Forest. And Doug, tell the folks again who you like on Saturday and where they could find you.
Yes. So this for free plays on this video, Russ, I'm going to take Virginia -7. I'm at Doug Upstone at Doc Sports. And at the last 6 weeks, I'm 30-21 in all football plays. So I've had a nice run just overall. See if we continue it, can continue it this upcoming week. 4-2, as I mentioned, in college football last week. Again, trying to just keep building that momentum as we've reached basically I guess the second half of the season, right? That which seems hard to believe right, at this point. But yeah, so this is where we are. So looking to try and continue that. And we have baseball, okay, the playoffs. I'm 6-2 in the MLB playoffs so far, having a wonderful year, up $9,000 in terms of profit based on units. And then we have the NBA, Ross, starting this week. So we got that going. And I closed the year quite strongly last year, the NBA, the regular season. So hopefully that momentum continues to start the season coming up, Ross.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the NBA as well. I was the number 6 rated handicapper at Sports Capping last year in the NBA, about 75 guys to get monitored there. So I had a pretty successful year. Also doing well, Major League Baseball, 18-11 with my last 29. Also Major League Baseball 10-star top plays, which are equivalent to other people's best bets. I only give out one of those per sport per day. In football, I do one per week, but these everyday sports, I never exceed one in any particular sport. So 40-20 this year with my Major League Baseball 10-star top plays. That's good for 67%, folks. Coming off a little bit of momentum, even though it's been a tough ride in football. Again, I own up, but yesterday I did have my 10-star game of the month in the NFL on the Baltimore Ravens, minus the 2.5. They were an easy winner over the Chargers, as that game was never in doubt from start to finish. So you can find me at rbwins.com. And again, folks, my free pick on Saturday the 23rd is on the Army Cadets +3 at home over the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Until the next time, for Doug Upstone, I'm Ross Benjamin. We'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Good luck and God bless.